In this video, I will be doing a weekly recap and a weekly forecast of the Nasdaq 100 futures market. And on the right hand side of the screen, we have the weekly chart, and on the left hand side of the screen, we have the daily chart. And let's get into the weekly recap. So the week started off with a rejection of this level of the 16,470 and 16,382, which is basically around this rejection of this week, which was the July 21st week. And this line acted as resistance, came back down. We had support off this moving average, came back up, and it's now acting as a support. And we ended the week off above the fast moving averages, which are these like purplish line and a blue line. And now this purplish and blue line is going to act as a support for the next week. And for the daily chart during the week, we had a big pivot off the level of 16,382, 3,680, around this level at 16,457, which is basically this resistance area over here, which if I draw a line, we had a resistance rejection, came back down into support into this moving average, broke it, came back down, retested it, now it's shooting back up. So this line, this level right over here, is now going to be acting as a support level for next week. But last week we had the nice pivot upward from the rejection on this level, and we had a really good long week. And then we see it started to base around during the final days of the week, and the fast moving averages are now acting as a support line for the coming week. So now let's get into the weekly forecast. The weekly forecast for next week should be a long week again, as these lines are acting as support, and we have our highest high for the weekly chart, which is at 17,703. So if we go back over here, if we break this level, which we should, then it will continue going up the market. But keep in mind, we have a higher high, but on our indicator down here, we have a lower high, indicating a divergence might happen. So keep in mind, even though next week should be a good long week through the support we have on both the daily and weekly chart, we might get a very large pullback down, and you can even see it on the daily chart. As you can see, it starts basing out around this area, and on the weekly chart we have a higher high but a lower high on the indicator, so we might get a really strong pullback. But expectations are it should go higher, break the 17,703 level, and shoot even higher. But as well as keep in mind the divergence that's starting to get created. And yeah, basically that's it. Next week we're looking to have a long week, but just keep in mind of the divergence on both the daily and the weekly, and have a good trading week next week.